What's going on, Geminites? Gem Mint here with today's new comic book day reviews for Wednesday, March 24th. You know how we do it. We're going to go through this stack as spoiler-free as possible. And it was a great week, both Marvel and DC, with a ton of bangers. So we're going to jump into this. Before we do, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. We're doing a giveaway for our next subscriber milestone of 125,000, where we're giving away a Spider-Man premium format by Sideshow. Stay tuned until the end of the video for not only details on how to enter the giveaway, but for my pick of the week. And before we even jump into the comics, I gotta give a huge shout out to our partners at Street Level Hero. They have an amazing King in Black 5 exclusive variant by Tyler Kirkham. This Venom defeating Null cover pays homage to this classic Muhammad Ali photo, which was also inspiration for the thumbnail of this video. Use the code GEMMINT to save 10% on this cover and any other item at slhla.com. It'll greatly support the channel and you'll get some cool stuff. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into the books. First, let's start with the indies, and I read my Image books digitally, so let's talk about Haha issue 3. This is by Prince and Langridge, and this was more like a silent issue. All of these Haha issues have been kind of little one-shots with some type of clown theme. This was a mime themed issue, so like a mime, it didn't say much. It was pretty entertaining. I'm trying to draw back and think of the events, and I'm drawing a blank. I enjoyed it while I read it, but I read it a few days ago, and kind of hard to remember the plot without any dialogue, but I remember it being an enjoyable issue. Then we got Scumbag issue number 6. This is by Rick Remender, Bengal, and Denisio. Scumbag's a good title, man. I mean, the dialogue from the main character is worth it in itself. It's got these crazy adult themes with the sex, drugs, and violence, or sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I should say. Him trying to be a good guy, that's the only way that his powers can work to take down the evil Scorponox Corporation, kind of like the bad guys from The Simpsons in that one episode. But anyway, the same great stuff that we've been getting the whole time, but the Scumbag is going to get himself into some trouble because he's secretly working both sides. So we'll see what happens as we continue with the run. All right, then jumping over to Boom Studios, we have Power Rangers issue 5. This is by Parrott, Mortarino, and Angulo. This one I wasn't really feeling too much. I usually give a lot of high praise to all the Power Rangers and the Mighty Morphin titles. This one kind of felt like a trope type of issue, like the Omega Rangers kind of in this Western, almost Star Wars scenario where they're on the alien planet playing cards and gambling to get themselves out of there. So I didn't really like the first half of it, but they introduced a cool character, the Princess of Evil, who's supposed to be the good guy. Toward the end, we learned some more about the Imperials and where they come from and how they're kind of mirror images of the original Rangers. So I thought that was pretty cool, but it was kind of like a tropey issue. Moving over to DC, we have Detective Comics issue 1034 with a backup story for Robin. This is by Tamaki, Mora, and Belair. The Robins by Joshua Williamson and Melenkov. Really digging this issue. It spins right out of the main Batman title. It kind of foreshadows what happened during Future State, which we've already read. You have the Bruce Wayne, who is not the billionaire playboy philanthropist. He actually has neighbors. He's actually getting involved with some socialites in Gotham who don't really seem to get affected by all the crazy stuff that happens in Gotham. It's almost like water cooler talk for them and just stuff to chat about or to write stories about. But it looks like the fight's coming close to home here, and they're gonna start getting affected here now. The Robin backup story just really leads into the Robin ongoing, which I'm really excited for, and it just plays with the idea that there is this League of the Lazarus, who is a faction of the League of Shadows and the League of Assassins. So Talia al Ghul basically letting Damian Wayne know, and he goes off on his own and will continue in his own arc. All right, then decided to pick up Action Comics again. We have a new creative team on here. This is issue 1029 with Johnson, Hester, Gapster, and Hi-Fi. A Sun Rises, and it has a Midnighter backup story. So this was the whole Superman story where Jonathan Kent is warning Clark in the last issue that, hey, I've read the history books from the 31st century. You die today. And it's basically this father-son parenting kind of storytelling aspect on how kids see their parents as infallible, and they can never get hurt, they can never fall down. And it seems like we changed the course of history here. So Superman may not fall victim to the fate that Jonathan Kent read about. At least it doesn't seem so far. The Midnighter backup story, I've really liked everything Midnighter that I've read since Future State, but this one was kind of boring. He's basically implanted this computer in his brain or whatever, but the remnants of the robot body who had the CPU is in his head as well now. I don't know. Nothing really happened. It wasn't really interesting. Got a kind of JR, John Romita Jr. art style throughout these issues. The Midnighter stuff has almost like a Frank Miller vibe to it. But I was enjoying it. Not bad. Then let's go to a surprise hit for me, man. Batman, Superman, issue 16 by Yang, Reese, Mika, and Rich. So 2 worlds, 2 heroes. This is a comic where you have the Superman story being told in this film reel on the top and a Batman story on the bottom. So you could read the whole comic through just the Superman stuff on top, just the Batman stuff. You could read that second or first, or you could read them page by page, reading them simultaneously, which is what I did. And where they really got me was it kind of tells their origin. It kind of says what's going on in the story. But then there's this huge twist, like Batman, Bruce Wayne's mother, Martha, never died, only his father. And Superman never made it to Earth in the Batman story. And we actually have his ship with the skeleton of a Kryptonian child in there. In the Superman story, I'm trying to remember what was the difference in that story. It's not really ringing a bell. But nevertheless, I liked it. I like how it ended. It explained what these film reels meant the whole time and how it tied into the current universe. So it was a great read. Let's move on over to Teen Titans Academy issue 1. This is by Sheridan, Sandoval, Tarragona, and Sanchez. So I don't know. I think people are going to be talking about this one. Definitely gives me Strange Academy vibes. You basically have the Teen Titans who established this school. They're going to be training future Titans. So then you have all these new characters and their interactions with each other, ending with this surprise birthday party for Nightwing. A lot of Red X conversation going on here. Kind of the students chattering about how Dick used to be the Red X, and he's kind of embarrassed about his past, but somebody went out of their way to anonymously send him the original Red X mask, and he's trying to handle it, kind of tactfully to not let them know it's bothering him, but to let them know what the school's about, and it's not about the Red X stuff, it's about trustworthiness and all the T's, terrificness, whatever. And in the end, it looks like there's a student here who's kind of got this Red X grudge. So I'm liking where it's going. Artwork was great. A lot of big, bright colors. Very large, big superhero type of artwork. So right up my alley. Then let's go to Harley Quinn issue 1. This is her Infinite Frontier debut, I guess you would say, by Phillips, Rossmo, and Placencia. Let all the healing begin. Don't say we didn't warn you. So this has a very rough art style. It reminds me of the art from the original Robin King stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same artist. But this comes right out of the Batman 105 issue, right post Joker War. Harley Quinn absolved of her sins due to Suicide Squad and her helping Batman at the end of the Joker War. Batman makes an appearance. She's living in Gotham, trying to be a hero. She wants to be part of the Bat family, even wants those Bat family checks like she thinks all of the Robins and the Oracles get. Also, Gotham is dealing with the aftermath of Joker War, and the people that were clowns are kind of getting beat up in the streets, and everybody kind of has this grudge against clowns, and that's like a kind of like a derogatory term in this world. I didn't know what to expect jumping into this, but I really ended up liking it. Moving over to Marvel, we're going to go with a King of Black tie-in. They got me with Scream. You know I'm a big fan of Scream. This is by Chapman, Brown, and Rosenberg. And this is basically Scream versus Null. What's going on with Scream during this Nulliverse, during the Null invasion? And she goes up against symbiote bats. It's a lot of inner monologue with Andy and the Scream symbiote. And she does have a little battle with Null at the end. She's got the Hellfire power, so she uses that. And overall, I thought it was just a good story. It's kind of bridging the gap between Absolute Carnage and King in Black. Got the gritty type of art style that you expect from all these Scream titles. And another King in Black tie-in that I was glad I picked it up. All right, guys, let's move over to Maestro issue 3, the War and Pax miniseries by Peter David, Javier Pina, and Jesus Albertov. Love all the Maestro stuff. I think the last issue was the only one that felt a little slow to me. He got captured by the Pantheon, and he's in this kind of chamber floating in the water while they try to enter his mind to make him turn back into Bruce Banner so that they can kill him. So it's an interesting sequence. I don't want to give the spoilers away here, so I'm not going to really get into what happened, but it was a cool kind of interaction with Maestro in his mind, trying to battle him and bring him down so they can kill him. And obviously they were unsuccessful because we got a couple more issues left, but definitely was digging Maestro. Oh man, the end of Taskmaster. This is issue 5, the final issue from this miniseries by McKay, Vidi, and Guru EFX. I dug this series, man. I just really like Taskmaster's dialogue. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He makes fun of himself. He points out the obvious. They explain kind of why he was so scared of Black Widow this whole time because, yeah, a lot of these other foes that he battled had powers, but they didn't know how to fight. And Black Widow, he kind of went back to the origins on how she was bred and trained to defeat Captain America. So he was scared because she's powerful and she knows how to fight. So they explain that. We get the whole Maria Hill whodunit murder mystery resolved here, which was an okay little plot point. But overall, I was just in it for Taskmaster's banter and the action scenes. All right, then we have the Carnage Black, White, and Blood issue 1. This is by... It's got a cool Ncbd cover. I don't see... This is a variant. I don't even pick out the covers. My LCS just puts these books in a bag, and I don't know why he gave me... the variants for some. Oh yeah, so this has 3 stories. You have a Teenie Howard, Ken Lashley story, Benjamin Percy, Sarah Pacelli story, Al Ewing, and John McCrae story. So the first story I really liked. I liked the Teenie Howard story because it kind of took place during Maximum Carnage, which if you guys are a fan of the channel, you know that's my jam. So kind of a little monologue going on between Carnage and Shriek, and him explaining how she's just as evil as him, if not more so evil. The second story was this weird kind of Western story. I don't know what was really going on here, but showing the Carnage symbiote basically trying to find a host and kind of hunting down this sheriff who thinks he's hunting Carnage down the whole time. And then the last story was kind of fun. It was like a choose your own adventure story where you can kind of, you know, like one of those books back in the day and has different endings and such. So it's black and white with red, kind of just like the Wolverine series, kind of playing off of Batman Black and White. And it looks like Harley Quinn's going to have a black, white, and red on DC. So I'm noticing DC and Marvel kind of copying each other a lot again, just like old times. Moving over to Cable issue 9, Phil Noto with Jerry Dugan. I dig Cable. I like it. It's got a distinct art style. I like the plot here. We're trying to find Strife. He's trying to kidnap these mutant babies. So you got Cable, young Cable running around with, how do you say her name? Esme, one of the cuckoos. And basically just trying to use his pull, like hit up Wolverine, hit up all these different telepaths and try to get a lead on Strife. So far, he's been unsuccessful, and it looks like towards the end of this issue, he's going to go off on his own. Kind of gave away my pick of the week here on the bottom. Before we get into the pick of the week, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, for all your omnibus and collected edition needs. Don't be paying retail for these books when you could buy them up to 50% off cover price with great packaging, fast shipping, and excellent customer service. Plus, if you mention this channel in the memo at checkout for your first order, your next order gets free shipping if you're in the United States. So check out cheapgraphicnovels.com and check out my pick of the week, which is Alien #1. Marvel got the rights back to Conan and kind of dumped us with Conan content. 10 omnibus so far. An ongoing series incorporating him into the Marvel universe. I want to see the same for Aliens and Predator. Issue 1's by Philip Kennedy Johnson with Salvador La Roca. Love his artwork. And Guru EFX, great colorist. This is the Ncbd variant as well, so maybe my local comic shop just knows I'm a fan and hooked me up. I like the first issue. We have this character who's retiring from the Wayland Corporation. Is that how you say it? I mean, I've seen all the Alien movies. I'm not like a huge Alien buff. But he's retiring. He's seen some things. We get flashbacks of him in a hive and his teammates being taken over by the xenomorphs and things like that. His son is kind of like an anti-Wayland group guy, kind of like a very political aspect with he's kind of with this group and he's got a bad relationship with his father. He only meets up with him to basically steal something that can help their cause. And the narration on this book was great. It was really creepy and really like atmospheric, the way that they're narrating this to make it feel like a movie. It doesn't feel like you're reading like comic book narration, if that makes sense. I was definitely digging it. Looking forward to seeing everything they do with Aliens. And did they get Predator back? I'm not even sure. Let me know in the comments down below. And actually, that's all you need to do to be entered into the giveaway for our 125K subscriber milestone. Be subscribed, leave a comment on this video and any other video where I promoted the giveaway. And once we reach the milestone, we'll go live, pick a random video where I promoted it, and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, but don't go anywhere. Check out my other new comic book day reviews if you missed them on the playlist to the right, and stay minty fresh. Peace.